Okay, so we're going to try to see if we can't get the end of Roger's end. Boy, that's... Okay, anyway. My little Ukrainian spirit bear. I also have some Ukrainian heritage there. Anyway, I am going to attempt to pick up where I left off, which is on Roger Stone's end. And what we saw was with the first video, there's a very big deal coming up for him in his life, and it involves two women that he has worked with, or that have helped him, or who have been part of a circle of people, or who have knowledge of this very, very intimate, hidden information about deep, deep stuff that I feel like it's a woman that has worked, two women that have worked with him on these dirty ends of business. Not necessarily working with him, next to him in a sense, but also a part of something, is what I get. And they end up, it looks like, wanting to come back in from out from the cold, and somehow the knowledge of comes up that of behind the scenes activity, shall we say, and the who's who, and there's a lot of money and people and power involved, and for Roger it's a real unexpected, I think, twist that he's not going to expect, but very deep. It's like the skeletons, the structure of the closet gets revealed. It's something along those lines, and that's why I just kept getting all of this stuff about there's more information that has yet to be. They're just scratching the surface. They're going to get a deluge, is what I'm getting again, in connection to Roger Stone, that will leave him, I think, stunned, and I have yet to see more. So I want to pick back up and see if we can't go part 2 and say more about the end of Roger Stone. What is his end? And see what the cards will say. Maybe it will continue with a different message. Maybe it will clarify, I hope. Because I do not want to do another 50-minute video. I really want to keep this sweet and to the point. And that means for me at least 20 minutes. And that's good enough. I really don't want to go long. But I'll go as long as I feel like I have to. Reluctantly, but... Okay, so... show us what the end of Roger Stone's end. What is this with these women and their having worked with him and information coming out? How does that affect him in his end? Can you please share that with us, spiritual mentors of mine? That's Creator, the source of love and truth and healing and life and death. Yeah, we need that too. Death has its place. So I ask the universe and my spiritual mentors to please help me to read accurately and clearly as I can. Please guide me in my reading. On Roger Stone's end, what does the universe want us to understand or know? Okay. Okay. Well, this has to do with details. It has to do with, receipts. This is the Page of Pentacles. This is the Knight of Cups. So, oh my God. So this is someone offering up receipts. What did I say before? That does marry up with where we were. Oh, right. They want their freedom back. What? Yeah, okay. And they have these secrets. They know the shade. Could it be that there's a couple of women that will feel that they got were worse off for being connected with him? I think, yeah. And for them, it is all about opportunity. So, for the people that are going to do this to him, I feel like they're opportunists, just as he is. He gets just exactly a move that he would be likely to give. Had to have some coffee. Takes me all day to have a cup of coffee because I'm doing so much here. Spirit of Pentacles. So Ace of Pentacles right here. It has to do with new beginnings and establishing funding or a means by which something can further happen. You know, it's a manifestation. And especially when we go from the Page or the Nymph of Pentacles to the Ace of Pentacles, it makes me feel like this person is carrying this new beginning, and they are making it or helping it to manifest. And there's some kind of offer, and under that offer, there is the Six of Swords. They want their lives to go in a better direction. They have been in a very chaotic way and stress, and they want work. They want to work again. So I think people willing to turn on each other because their connection to somebody has been toxic, so that person's no good to them anymore. And even if they've worked alongside them, as I feel these people have, these two women that I was getting, they are a cashable receipt if they get in trouble. Or they will think so to try to get back in to being able to earn money or have a place in society again. I feel like work from that other reading. Now here we go with the this is the Knight of Wands, or the Warrior. I do like that, of Wands. Very energized. Oh, they're going to be robust in their activity with what they got to do, whatever it is they got to do, desperate to get back into society, to be able to work again, to try to say, hey, I'm not really, give me another chance. Yeah, look, awakening. So, and that falls right under that moon. But they're eager to give that tea. They are eager to give this tea they're holding. They want, they've realized something. And, maybe not all entirely selfishly, but what it will do is it is very important information that we should have, and it's going to come out. And these people have that information, and it's good that they do this. As awful as whoever they are, or whatever they may have, I'm glad that they will do this. It is one, but I'm sure it's done out of a selfish, definitely it shows motive to be able to want to come back in out of the cold, and have employment. So they cash in, what they know in their past knowledge of working with him and having connection to him. And this leaves him feeling insecure. Here we see, I feel like this is him retracting and holding on and fortifying the walls around him. He's kind of trapped. Because these two women and what they have to say, I think he knows is really going to put him up the creek without a paddle, literally, stuck. And as I said, we're looking at security-based issues. So these people want their security. His is now up for auction because these people want to get on with their lives very much. And they're willing to, I think, share what they know. Even if it doesn't make them look particularly good, it's like they're trying to save their own hide, yeah. And here we see stability. This is the holding on, trying to hold on. And there is a stability that is manifested universe. So this offer to move on will be accepted because there's information that's really, I think, that fills in an important gap. For the investigation. It sinks stone. Freedom, Warrior of Wands, Nymph of Swords. It's kind of surveillance or paranoia. Let me just see how I feel about that. I'm going to lay out the final revolution. Yeah, I got that before. Oh, and that's coming under awakening of the moon. So Roger Stone ends up being so exposed and cashed in. His security, and he's painted himself into a corner. He is going to reap the whirlwind. That wind of revolution comes at him. You know how in France when it kind of went a little cray-cray, and then like everybody ended up losing their heads, and that's when they decided to stop because maybe this went a little too far, This kind of what reminds me of. And it's like that whole insurrection energy turns on him or ends up being used on each other. I feel like these people involved in it will turn on each other. And that includes people that have worked alongside with Roger Stone and other people who want back in and that are just heartless enough, they just don't care. Roger Stone is just disposable to them. They'll throw him under the bus like 10,000 times to get back into what they want. And they do hold information that is needed, and that is what I think the investigation is. Not so much for, it's something deeper, like I was saying. And Roger's one lasts a little longer. It looks like this stuff plays out longer. Or there's more details here. Whatever happens with Jones, I don't know if that guy just works himself into a lather and expires, but there's some kind of end for him. Roger Stone tends to have to deal with a lot more issue. Seven of Cups. Here is that delusion. This can also be sometimes needing to make choices where it's too flaky. Something isn't, again, something hasn't been nailed down so that it is not secure. I think he's going to grow very, very, very paranoid mentally. And I think, yes, I think it will likely bump up, pardon the pun, his use of substances that may tend to make somebody who's already naturally suspicious go into full paranoia. These two women doing this is going to freak him out. And that end is where he is just in a state of deluded paranoia, where he has to totally reevaluate his things. His money is being analyzed, I think, here. Personal income, maybe personal assets. Something gets more closely scrutinized, if not by himself, and I don't think it's going to be necessarily by himself. Who are we falling under here? Yeah, no, he's worried about it, but it will be looked at. His financial setup and activities, his work. Yeah. And these people willing to cash him in like a receipt very quickly for their own benefit will really freak him out. He will not be expecting that. He will get worried about it, but when they actually, like, no problem, yeah, do it, I think for him it's very disarming. Yes, this for him, I see then activity also picks up around this scrutiny, I would say, over his work and money, his day-to-day living, what has he been up to thing. So I think he really gets a much tighter scrutiny that is going to make him very paranoid, anxious, more likely to abuse substance, to try to settle his nerves, because it's going to really get under his skin. It doesn't really take much anyway. But let's just keep going. We're looking at the Fool, potential, the Six of Wands, his ego. He's going to react out of ego. Definitely, we have that. And there's some foolish or big gamble that he takes, and it with its ego, his ego ruins it for him, I think. It's a big gamble. It's done out of pride. It's manipulation. He's got his hands dirty. He's said things that aren't true. He's tampered with things. You know, he's been a fixer. And yes, and he will end up having a greater battle, personal battle, on his own hands, because he'll have people turning on him that he's known to work on his side of the business. They have the secrets. Two of Swords, and he wants them to keep quiet, but they want to chance it. And they want more opportunity. Like I said, they want more opportunity. They feel like they have lived in a very shut down, off the radar way, and they're tired of it. And he doesn't mean jack to them, so they're not going to be on the fence much longer. And there goes the activity, there goes the leak about looking at personal funds and wealth and high profile people that hire Stone. This gets a very Ace of Cups response. He looks drunk in the Four of Cups and apathetic and unhappy and reactive. Yeah. Gets him right in the feels. And here's the high profile people. People he's supposed to protect, whatever. You know, this is death for him as a fixer. The Star and the Five of Pentacles. This shows, I think, blackmail with the Star. It shows the exposure of people who are not mentally right. You know, they're not, and that's to say they have mental disorders that are really concerning. They have health issues too, I think. Other health issues besides mental health. It's like the mental health affects everything else. And they're high profile, powerful people. There's a sickness. And there's also going to be a lack of funds. You know, he doesn't have those people to fill his wages, his little wage packet. Introspection and reclamation. He's going to be thinking about these women and what they did that they cashed him in for their freedom. He's going to probably be thinking, who can I throw under the bus? Ace of Wands, Empress. This is a woman in power. These are the women also that took action. There's looking at women. He doesn't like women, you know. He's very misogynistic. Anger. He's angry at them. And women in general. I do see a picture. There's a woman. He does have a wife, Nadia. I was trying to look at birth information, but I'm sure that well hidden. But I don't know that she's the one that's going to turn on him. I don't know. I should do a separate reading sometime on her. But this could be her, Ace of, this is Empress. If it isn't in reference to the women I saw giving information over. Let me think about that. Three of Cups. People he's worked with and associated with it. Maybe through his wife. He's angry at these women, and I think including his wife. He's thinking of them as three women that were at work conceiving to do this to him, to throw him under the bus. That's my feeling. He's going to feel very confined. He's getting the Eight of Swords. So, 10 of Cups. This also deals with a wish card. Can also be he's completely deluded. Yeah, 10 of Wands. And cracking up. Yeah. He will be exposed. Totally exposed. I think we're looking at prison for him. He's gonna, I think, last longer than possibly Jones. I just don't think the stress. I don't know how Jones has lived this long. I don't know. But I see Jones, for some reason, will crack. It's karma. It comes back hot on a plate steaming. And it will be the same for Stone. But I think he will be in prison, quite likely. And I think women turn on him that have worked behind the scenes and expose the bejesus out of him with that sun. And it puts him under the 10 of Wands. It's just too much. The 10 of Cups, emotionally, it's like, I feel like he could want to, take a lot of substance. And 8 of Swords, he feels absolutely painted in a corner with the 8 of Swords and the 4 of Pentacles. He feels utterly trapped. He may be in prison there. If not, he's as good as wanting to expand one's reaching out. I think this is like the connections overseas that he has. That sneaky work, what he's been up to. Yep, justice is on his trail and his money trail. And the people behind it. But I think Stone is in place firmly somewhere. I feel, here we get that Queen of Pentacles, that she's going to regain her strength and take back control of her life. It's a very back and forth relationship. Look at that, 2 of Cups and 2 of Pentacles. Whoosh, whoosh. There's extremes here, but there's this person, she's like, I'm going to taking back the night, buddy, whoever she is. I think his wife could be one, but there's 2 other women. I see 3 women, and they have the receipts. They were working behind the scenes or something, and they flipped the script on him. It's going to burn his biscuits. I think he will probably end up in prison. Yes. But this is karma working itself out. Like I said, these people are going to turn on each other, and I think the end is he's going to be in prison, and he will probably die there. And that's his end. I think he'll, looks like, die in some kind of way of constraint and feeling stuck. So I think it's prison. And I see 3 women, possibly, definitely 2 who are significant that will end up exposing information on him for their own benefit. He gets what he's given out, and this will put him away till he passes. And that's Roger Stone's last part. I'm done with that dude. Thank God. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last.